And always glad to have him and his crew over.
Yes, Coach Jackson definitely, and the Anadarko Warriors, who went 13-1 last year, state runner-ups in Class 4A after moving up from 3A and after winning the 3A state title. Coach, last time I talked to you, it was not, it was not the best. It was a Stillwater right after the game, but you know what? You guys have a lot of returning talent this year, and there's a lot of buzz around Anadarko again for this upcoming season.
Well, there's a lot of expectations for us every year, and I've told our guys this year is no different. We have nearly all of our skill players back that played in the state championship game last year, and great players, and we expect a lot out of them. You know, we've talked last year, I thought our line was real good and covered up our skill players a little bit where they could excel. This year it's going to be just the opposite. We're going to expect our skill players, these guys I have with me today, to help out the O-line and the D-line. So, you know, we expect a good year. These guys don't think anybody can beat them, and they're ready to get started.
You know, Coach, you guys run the spread attack. You know, you have experienced quarterback, experienced running back. You know, you have experience all the way on that skill, but as we talked about, the line, you know, you guys lost all 5 starters on your offensive line. Talk about what you need to do to help replace those guys in that experience.
Well, we just need to keep giving them reps. You know, last night we got a good indication of where we're at. We have very good linemen. Mm-hmm. They're young and inexperienced, but they're good. Ethan Smith here is one of them. He moved in from Elgin, and we put him at guard, and he's really helped solidify what we have up front. Kool looks like he's going to be the center. You know, he's been in the program a long time. Jared Wheeler's a senior, going to be on the O-line, and Caden Jackson and Kelby Bailey are sophomores. So, you know, those guys are going to need good positive reps early. And you know, last night gave us a good look at where we're at. And you know, there's a lot of room for improvement, but they did some good things too. So we're ready to go.
You know, last year, a lot of people that I talked to didn't know what to expect. You lost Sheldon Wilson off the state title team. A lot of people didn't know what to expect out of R.J. Sink, but he was one of the top touchdown leaders in the state. Talk about how big he stepped up last year and what you expect out of him this year.
Well, we expect him to be a leader. That's for sure. He's here with us today, too. He was a great talent last year, really stepped up and did a great job. He gives us that home run threat, you know, like Brandon does, like Mykel Shaw here. You know, we've got Josh Parton. We've got guys that can really run. We're going to have a lot of speed on the field this year, probably more than usual. And, you know, RJ's one of them. And we're going to need that big play capability just to kind of offshoot, you know, what we don't have with our linemen. I mean, we're going to need that, and we expect that. And he showed a little bit of that last night.
You know, defensively, you return your secondary, but you also have to talk about your linebackers a little bit as well as your defensive line.
Well, again, Ethan moved in from Elgin. He's going to play middle linebacker. That really fills a hole. You know, Russell Mykel was there for 3 straight years, so that was good getting him in. Jared Wheeler played a lot last year when Russell was hurt, so Jared got a lot of good positive reps. Nacho Gallegos is going to play a little outside backer. Tremaine Wadua, who's been in the program a long time, we moved him to middle linebacker this year just because he has great instincts and can really run. He did a great job last night running the football, and he certainly brings a helmet when he gets there. He's one of the hardest hitters I've ever coached, and we expect a lot of big things out of him as well.
Let's go ahead and pass the microphone down all the way down to R.J. We'll start at the very end. R.J. Sink joining us now on the high school preview show. R.J., you know, you had a great year last year, but you're a senior coming into this year. What are some things you want to do as a personal goals for you as a player?
Just do what I can to help the team out and everything. You know, my senior year, so you know, I'm just looking forward to the season and see what we can really do. And my coach said got some new linemen in there and stuff, so I don't know, but just they're gonna need reps and stuff like that. And me, I'm just here to do what I did last year, do my job, and you know, just do what I can to help the team out.
You know, as a running back, you are helped out a lot by that offensive line, and you were helped a lot last year. You know, do you see the potential there of your offensive line this year?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we just need reps. I mean, they're a good offensive line and everything, and just need
to get that experience.
Yeah. Once we get that, we'll be clicking on all cylinders, and once that happens, I really don't think there's no stopping us.
You know, you were a different type of running back from Sheldon Wilson, who was, you know, he was more of a power guy. You're more of a skill guy, speed guy, make you miss. You know, I remember that touchdown you had last year in the state title game was very impressive. What are some things you need to work on just to help improve on those skill sets?
Well, I need to hit the weights more, run north and south a little more. And, you know, jigging's okay and everything, but, you know, I need to get at the field a little more. Well, that's basically about it.
All right, RJ, you know, you also run track. How important does running track help you as a running back?
Just, you know, form and everything. They teach us form in there. And I don't know. I really don't know.
Just that athleticism translates onto the football field?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, RJ. Go ahead and pass the microphone over to Brandon Pollard, the quarterback, B-Paul. You know, Brandon, you were a sophomore last year. You were named the full-time starter, I believe, a little further into the season, but once you got in there, you really progressed. Talk about how important it is, that experience you got last year.
It's really good, you know, just coming back and showing the team that we can do it again and just leading the team down the field and everything.
You know, you have a huge set of talent around you in terms of wide receivers and running backs. How important is it to have those skill guys around you to help you out?
It's great, you know, get out the ball out there and we can have speed and just get the ball down the field.
Have you know, speaking of the offensive line, you know, because that's one of the big question marks, the talent's there, but they need the reps. You know, have you kind of lit into them a little bit, saying that, you know, I'm the quarterback, you got to protect me, make sure you don't get knocked on your back too many times?
Yeah, a little bit. Took a hit last night, but, you know, they're doing their best. Just got to get some more reps, like RJ says.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you know, the more reps you get, it's just nothing can replace experience, and just you have to get those reps. You know, also as a baseball player, what are some things that you see on the baseball field that helps translate into your skill set on the football field?
Just making plays, you know, just being a better player, being a leader, just going out there and playing to win and stuff.
From last year to this year, what are some things you've seen, some improvements in yourself?
I think we're throwing the ball a lot better this year, spreading it out, getting the ball out there to our wideouts.
All right, well, speaking of wideouts, go ahead and pass the microphone down to Mykel Shaw, the returning wide receiver, returning starter and free safety. You know, Mykel, you and Josh Parton, by far two of the most talented wide receiver combos in the state. Talk about how you guys feed off of each other and how you guys make each other better.
It's just in practice. We go one-on-one drills. Me and him always go against each other. We battle every day, and we just go our hardest.
You know, you get the name Boogeyman, the nickname Boogeyman. It says here from hitting people on the defensive side of the ball. Was there a specific time when you got that nickname, or has it just always just kind of been around you?
I think Coach Pruitt, he made it up, because in practice, like, if you're not looking, we do some pass Kelly. If you're not looking, you'll feel me.
You know, last year you guys had a great run. After moving up a class, you know, there was a lot of naysayers out there. People didn't know what to expect out of you guys moving up in classes, but you had one of the, you know, another great year and a great game against Clinton in the state finals. What are some things you guys need to do to improve on this year to make sure that you win that final game?
We just got to keep going hard every day, and everybody has to show up. Like this summer, we had a lot of guys show up, and the lower classmen, we try to teach them commitment, and so they have to be there to run our scout defense and stuff and everything, our scout teams.
What are some things as a senior and an upperclassman, a guy who's been in the program for a long time, what are some things that you are going to try to help pass down to those younger players?
Just commitment and leadership, and you just got to be there every day to grind out and go hard.
All right, thanks, Mykel. You go ahead and pass the microphone down to Ethan Smith, the middle linebacker, senior. Coach said you transferred in from Elgin. So, you know, how have you meshed well with the team? You know, or have they accepted you as one of their own?
Oh, yeah. As soon as I came in, they just brought me in. You know, there's really no transition. I mean, I already knew Brandon Pollard for a couple of years and everything, so it wasn't too bad moving into Anadarko from.
You know, you're coming into a program that is, you know, the past 5 years have been very tradition rich, and especially last couple years at that linebacker spot, some big shoes to fill, as Coach alluded to. You know, Russell Mythlow, very talented linebacker, seemed like he was there forever. You know, what are some things you need to do to just help, you know, make sure that there's not that big of a difference between you two?
I just got to go hard every day, just keep it real in practice and everything, and make sure I'm the leader on the defensive side of it. Just make sure I keep all my calls right and stay head forward every time.
You know, we keep talking about the line. You know, that's one of the big questions. You know, who is a guy that you've seen on the offensive and defensive line that you think has really progressed and has the potential to be a great player?
Kelby Bailey, he's going to be a sophomore, right? He's a big dude, and he's got really good talent. As soon as he's little too big for his size right now, being young and everything. But as soon as he grows into himself, he'll be really good. He should be.
You play offense and defense. You're a left guard on offense. Which do you like better, offense or defense?
Oh, I definitely like defense better. You've been playing it for 4 years now. So,
what are some things that you need to, that you see as an offensive lineman, that kind of help you in your game, reading a defense that kind of can help you translate onto the defensive side of the ball, showing a blitz too early or anything, things like that, or anything? Is there anything like that?
Well, actually, this is my first year on the offensive line. Yeah, since I moved in Anadarko, they put me there just to fill in the spot and everything. So
just kind of threw you into the wolves.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, yeah, it's
okay.
really nice. I like it.
All right, good deal. You want to pass the microphone back to Coach Jackson. Coach, a lot of great young men you have with you, well-spoken, and it looks like things are looking well for Anadarko again this year.
Well, one thing I've told a lot of people, we have great kids in Anadarko. These guys that are here, I think it was Mike that alluded to our summer workouts. It takes a lot to be a part of this team because our summer is not easy. I think they'll tell you speed camp is tough. It's 6 weeks long, and it weeds out a lot of those guys we call non-believers. And when you have seniors sitting here, they've been through the grind for a lot of years, and that's, I think, why we've been successful is those guys get in there and get after it now because they know what it takes to win. And all these guys right here have been in the fire, and we think that helps us down the road. We've got some big district games coming up with Clinton and Woodward. We've got a big opener against Chickasha, and I like guys that have been there. They know what the pressure is, and they handle it well, and these guys right here can do that.
And, you also, one thing about Anadarko is you got great assistants. You've had Chris Paddlety and Jim Picotti there for a long time. Offensive coordinator Chris Paddlety, he's got a lot to work with in terms of talent at that wide receiver and running back and quarterback positions.
He sure does. I tell him that every day. We ought to be putting up 40 or 50 a night. He should cover us up.
If the offense isn't putting up points, you know who to go to.
Exactly right.
Especially you as a defensive guy.
That's one thing about our staff. Coach Pruitt was mentioned earlier. I think this is his 5th year on staff, and he's the least tenured guy there. Everybody else has been there 9 or 10 years like I have, and we've been doing this a long time together, and they do a great job as well. And, when we get there on Sundays, everybody knows exactly what to do, and we get to work. And I think these guys like all the assistant coaches, and they may not like me, but I think they like all the assistant coaches, and everybody works well together, and I think that's a big part of our success.
That continuity just does nothing but helps kids buy into your system. I mean, that just the fact that you guys have been there for so long, that you got something established in place, really helps helps these kids grow up and to become men. So that is Coach Kent Jackson of the Anadarko Warriors. Look to have another great year, Coach. Good luck.
We appreciate you having us. Thank you.
All right, no problem, Coach. Kent Jackson and the Anadarko Warriors, along with Mykel Shaw, Brandon Pollard, R.J. Sink, and Ethan Smith. Let's go ahead and take a timeout, and we come back. We will continue with our high school football preview show. Coming up next, the Rush Springs Redskins, followed by Blanchard, Dibble, Tuttle, and Chickasha. That's all coming up next right here on Kool 105.5.